What's up guys, this is Matt from RamseyVoice.com and thank you so much for watching this video. Today I want to talk to you about vocal fry, a very important but probably kind of underused vocal technique. So today I'm going to talk to you about what is vocal fry, how you can find it in your voice, and I'm also going to give you 5 different ways that you can use it in your voice today. Now if you find this video helpful, make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for other news from this channel. Or if you're ready to just jump in and start improving your voice, you can check out my complete singing course, Master Your Voice. Okay, let's just jump right on in. What is vocal fry? Well, even if you don't know what vocal fry means, you've definitely heard it out there somewhere before. It's the sound of Kim Kardashian. Oh my God, I'm so blessed. Also, more recently in the film A Star Is Born, Bradley Cooper's character, Jackson Maine, I just wanted to see you one more time. These are all great examples of people using vocal fry in their speaking voice, but it's also used in people's singing voices. For instance, we've got like Leonard Cohen, like a bird on the wire, like a drunk in some midnight choir. So he's using a lot of that vocal fry to hit the lowest notes in his voice. You've also got singers like Tom Waits, I got your letter today. There's very little actual like tone in there. It's just kind of like this kind of gravelly, froggy, kind of lazy sound. But even artists as big as Britney Spears and Lorde use vocal fry all the time. Lorde, for instance, has a song, Liability, where she's saying, you got a little much for me, there's liability. And she sings, that it was poison. So she's even kind of adding in a little bit of that vocal fry as she's singing through the song, specifically on the word poisonous, the one that you hear. But even Britney Spears uses it in, oh baby, baby, oh baby, baby. So what actually creates this vocal fry sound? Well, vocal fry is actually the lowest vocal register. We've got lots of different vocal registers in our voice. We've got actually up to 4 of them. We've got vocal fry at the very bottom. We've got chest voice, which I'm speaking in right now. We've got head voice, which is kind of like the highest part of the voice. And then we also have at the very top of your voice, which I can only barely squeeze out today. It's not my best vocal day. However, the way that they all kind of work together is that every vocal register means that the vocal cords or the vocal folds are vibrating in a slightly different way. So what creates that vocal fry sound? Well, vocal fry is actually created when the vocal cords themselves are super loose and they're not closing very completely in your voice. So the cords are super loose, and basically what you're hearing is the air from your lungs actually kind of bubbling through, bubbling up through the cords. Now, vocal fry is really important because you can actually sing up to 4 octaves lower than what your chest voice will allow in just vocal fry. Now, like I said, there isn't a whole lot of tone to it, but you can actually tune some of those notes, and a lot of singers actually just kind of like, almost like make their pitches sound like that's what they're singing, like a drunk in some midnight choir. I didn't sing like a drunk, I sang like a drunk in some midnight choir, and people will still hear that da 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 kind of in there. So how do you find vocal fry? Well, I'm going to give you one really simple exercise to do it, but I will say that vocal fry is just one of the easiest sounds to imitate because a lot of people do it all the time. So we're just going to do it right now. You're just going to pretend that you woke up in the morning, you're really tired, and your voice feels terrible, and you just let out a nice low feeling on an vowel. So you'll just pretend that you're really sleepy, your voice is super tired, and you're going to say an with no vocal tone, no pitch, no we're not trying to sing right now, we're just trying to get that very relaxed feeling. And it should feel very relaxed. A lot of people wonder whether vocal fry is something that's harmful for your voice because especially since around the mid-2000s, a lot of people started criticizing the way that especially women spoke in vocal fry and made a lot of videos and a lot of articles about, oh, this is destroying young women's voices and stuff like that. It's all BS. It doesn't make any sense. Actually, Johns Hopkins University came out with a study saying that vocal fry is totally safe as long as you're not pressing your chords super tight. So whenever you're doing vocal fry and whenever we're doing them in the exercises today, remember, you want to just keep that really, really easy, very lazy feeling. Okay, now, I promised I was going to give you 5 different ways that you can use vocal fry in your voice today. And we're going to get started with one of my favorites. And that is that you can use vocal fry to add a lot of emotion into your singing really easily. So, for instance, we looked at the Britney Spears song, Oh Baby Baby, or Hit Me Baby One More Time. So she starts off with that, oh baby baby, oh baby baby, right? And that's giving you this feeling of like, kind of like almost like an intimate or kind of like a sensual feeling. Oh, baby, baby. She makes it feel very, very kind of intimate. But you can also pretend that someone's very vulnerable. So like, for instance, with the Lord song, she does the, baby really hurt me crying in the taxi. You kind of hear that. Breaking in my store, said I was poison. So she's kind of approximating that note. Now there's a little bit of a note in there that that you can make that sound, and it actually sounds kind of musical without having to be as pretty as that. So if you're looking to add a lot of emotion to your singing and to your songs really quickly, vocal fry is a great way to do that. How do you do that? You just add in some of that feeling, and then you choose whatever vowel that you're trying to sing. In her case, poison, poison. Great. Now the second way, and probably one of the most common ways that you can use vocal fry, is to hit the lowest notes in your voice. So that kind of goes back to the Leonard Cohen example of where he was like that, like a bird on the wire, like a drunk in some midnight choir. Now he sounds better than that, but not by much. He adds a lot of vocal fry there. And as a matter of fact, as his career went on and as he got older, he started using more of that vocal fry. It started to sound like a bird on the wire. So that's another way that people use that, is to hit the lowest notes in their voice without, even if they don't have that in their chest voice, they can actually go there with that vocal fry. So you can actually extend that by kind of and that'll get you some of those extra notes that you're looking for. Okay, the third way that you can use vocal fry in your voice is you can use it to actually add kind of that metal growl that people love in their voice. So, for instance, you can start off with that totally open, very loose vocal fry feeling. Then you can start to add a little bit of a tone to it. So like a then more voice, and then you've got this kind of raspy edge to that, la 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 la, like that Man in the Box, Alice in Chains kind of sound, la, and it gives a little bit of that edge. Now, as you start to kind of find that feeling more and more, you can start to add more of your real voice in there and keep some of that edge. La 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 la, and you can still keep some of that fry in there. Great. The fourth way that you can start to use your vocal fry is that you can actually use it as a technique to find an easier head voice. So for instance, like a lot of people will have a hard time in transitioning from their chest voice up into their head voice. They'll kind of strain like a they'll either pull chest or they'll and disconnect a falsetto. Well, with vocal fry, you can actually start with that very loose, very relaxed feeling of that vocal fry that we all know now is totally safe for your voice. And you can actually kind of switch that into your head voice, kind of like, Now, it may not be the prettiest head voice or the prettiest exercise that you've ever heard. Kind of sounds like a squeaky door. However, what that's really good at doing is rather than having to and trying to push into those top notes, instead you're You're skipping that chest voice completely so that there's no tension or strain, and you just find that really easy feeling, and then you can start to connect your chest voice back to that. And the fifth way that you can start using vocal fry today is if you have like a lot of tension or a lot of kind of like strength or press in your speaking voice. Dwight Schrute here, question. These are all kind of like very tight, compressed feelings in your speaking voice. But you can actually use vocal fry since we know that vocal fry is so loose in the vocal cords and so relaxed. You can actually, you can start to add a little bit of that Dwight Schrute here, Dwight Schrute here, Dwight Schrute here, rather than Dwight Schrute, and making sure that it's so compressed feeling. So you can start to experiment with all 5 of those different ways that you can use vocal fry today, and just make sure that it's very, very relaxed feeling. Thanks so much for watching, and happy singing.